today. Making sure everything is working as it should. Today we're going to be doing some more exhibition, like matchup testing sort of deal. And this time we're playing against a friend of mine, Loamerboy, aka Flying Whales on MTGO, known 4-color Loam player, if you weren't aware by his name. Also, semi-recent Death and Taxes convert. He's been jamming the deck a lot, and I think he understands like both sides of this matchup pretty well. I understand one side of this matchup pretty well. It's the Death and Taxes side. But anyway, we're going to be testing some Death and Taxes versus 4-color Loam. If you want to watch what he's doing, you can go check him over on his channel, twitch.tv/Loamerboy. I think he's live right now. I don't know, but I'm gonna message him in a second. And we're just gonna jam, kind of like we did. I mean, I guess exactly like we did with Patrick last week. We're playing some D&T versus 4-color Loam. Anyhow, same list as Monday. I talked about it in the Discord for those of you that aren't like active members. Probably gonna cut this Containment Priest for a Grafdigger's Cage in the future, but for the purposes of this matchup testing, I'm not boarding in either of these cards, so it doesn't matter. I don't want to like update my deck list and stuff when I could just jump into some matches instead. So anyway, this is what we got. How do I do this again? Constructed open play. I ticked it up to 40 minutes. Something like this. This should work. Alright, let me make sure Loamerboy knows what's happening. I think this is how I'm supposed to do this. Or am I supposed to click play or host a new match? Create a game based on your selections versus... I think I want this, right? Yeah, there we go. So this should work. Let's see if... I doubt anyone wants to like just randomly jump into these legacy friendlies out here for no reason, so... I mean, if Loamerboy doesn't show up, then we obviously will just ditch the event and find him again. My frame rate is just tanking right now. I don't know why. Oh, that's probably what I should have done. I should have tried to actually figure out how to get the dual deck lists thing up. It's like way too late now. It was confusing as fuck the first time I tried to do it with Patrick. Something about CBL, like switch from player to organizer and get the tournament running, but I don't know. Not super worth it to me. It's hard to coordinate this stuff sometimes. So hopefully he knows what he's doing. I only figured out last time how to like do the special 40-minute match clocks or whatever. Gives you a lot more time to like sit and to discuss like the different points. Oops, did not want to do that. There goes all my windows. I need these. I don't need that, actually. Constructed play lobby, constructed open play. That should be it. There we go. We did it. Oh, nice. We won the die roll. Alright. So in game ones, you want to assess your opening hands based on how good they are in the blind. Unless you're against like a really well-known player or you're late in the tournament or you're in like a top 8 or something. Like most of the games you're going to be playing are probably in the blind. So even though we're testing a specific matchup, I don't love like keeping opening hands based on like, oh, I'd keep this against exactly 4-color Loam, but I'd mold against everything else. That being said, this hand's just good. Like any hand with like Vial and Thalia is basically always a keep. This hand is a little bit weaker against Loam, but we have like a Plow. And we're on the play, so we can't get their Vial Chalice. We have Revoker for like Liliana or Night of the Reliquary or something. We're soft to Punishing Fire, but game one you're soft to Punishing Fire a lot of the time. So you kind of hope that they don't have it. Plus with like Revoker, Mox Diamond, Wasteland, sometimes you can, like Revoker, Mox Diamond, Wasteland, Thalia, there's a chance we can try to like stumble them out of the gates a little bit here. But game one, basically your priorities are Prelate on 2, hopefully with like extra fodder to like lose to a Liliana Edict. The other thing is Palace Jailer. Palace Jailer is just very, very good in this matchup. Remorseful Cleric's good if you have it, but I know not a lot of people have it main deck, or at all. But it's a nice hedge in some of these graveyard-oriented matchups. Can help shoot down some Punishing Fires for you. Or, like, shrink a Knight really small. Other than that, it's not dying to Punishing Fire and not dying to, like, Gigantic Knights and stuff. So next turn we'll probably just go land Thalia. Unless he goes, like, land Mox Bob, in which case we'll probably, like, Wasteland plus Swords. What did he do with the Scry? He topped. Nothing, huh? Well, that's good. Also, worth noting that Windswept Heath Pass doesn't mean a whole lot to me. It probably means, what, like Maverick? Probably not Elves. Or Loam. There are a lot of decks that Windswept Pass could be. But regardless, like, just playing Thalia on 2 is always great here. Recruiter's really good. It can find us Prelate or Jailer, the 2 cards we talked about, being exceptional at winning game 1s. So, turn 2 here. Because we have Thalia in play, you can't, like, Mox Diamond into 3-drop. So it's, like, Dark Confidant, or just pass again, right? Good Green Sun for Dryad Arbor. Yeah, not super surprised by just go. Honestly, I kind of like Wasteland play second Vial. We have second Vial active. We're getting like Recruiter online next turn. Oh, he's just attacking mana here. Revoker probably goes on just Liliana here, unless he casts a Mox Diamond. Barrenmore. That's definitely a sign of weakness in the mana base. There's also a chance I just don't want to put in this Revoker. I don't think it's a high chance. I think Mox Diamond's like pretty irrelevant here. Because the fact that he's like struggling to put out lands every turn means that like Mox Diamond's probably not super online. The only other things today would be Knight, which we have covered by Plow, and Liliana of the Veil. Because now we know they're low after seeing. The Scrubland is like maybe still Maverick on like a really weird hand, but the Barrenmore definitely means Loam. Liliana of the Veil. Got some more Aether Vials, I guess. I could, like, recruit a 2-drop here, but I think recruiting either Jailer or Prelate is how I want to end this game. I want to wait if my opponent just, like, goes land go and now has Punishing Fire up. I think recruiting Prelate should put the nail in the coffin faster. Of course, if he just, like, stumbles here and misses land drop, so we can just kind of savage him. Alright. So that's moderately scary. It means we really want Prelate on this Recruiter. Is it Knight? Okay, that's fine. Means we can also afford to grab a Flicker Wisp with this Recruiter first. I might also just, like, maybe... I wonder how greedy it is to actually get Palace Jailer here instead, and just tick Val up to 4 Jailer the Knight attack. I'm a little concerned that Punishing Fire can actually just beat me with this board state, and we already have removal for the Knight. So I think I just want to get Wisp, and then end up getting, like, a... I could just grab Prelate right now, but kind of want to add more to the board. Kill that. Attack for 5. And on my own end step, Flicker with the Recruiter. Rude. Indeed. Bash. So now, if, like, Punishing Fire is the card, this is another Knight. Alright, now we might just need to grab Palace Jailer. since we don't have an answer for this night. Palace Jailer means that we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. Jailer this. Attack for 8, put him to 4, and we're just like way out of range of a Punishing Fire at that point. That should be fine. Do you have to be aware of like Dryad Arbor blocks? Could soak up like 2 damage, but probably still worth just jailering here. Yeah, he's just like dead to that. Alright, sideboard against Loam. Want a lot of cards. You wanted a lot of cards against Loam. A lot of cards like incidentally good. Yeah, they're surgical. So this is a Relic Order, which I've like been questioning, and I think it's like a little bit better. Loam players are playing more Sylvan Libraries lately, and that card is a beating. But it's like definitely these 10 cards. You have a lot of cards that you want to be cutting. This is usually how I do it. This is usually what my configuration looks post-board. Guess if we organize them by like actual... So you want extra removal because like Knight and Dark Confidant are just really, really scary. And they usually they fetch their basic aggressively if they can afford to, if their mana base can afford to. And also, like, giving them the extra land typically doesn't matter that much. Like, being able to answer big Knights is very, very key. Surgical, because Punishing Fire is their best card against you, hands down. Rest in peace, similar reasons. It also messes with Knights and Loams and stuff. Third Recruiter just shows up as, like, an extra Palace Jailer or Sanctum Prelate or Spirit Keeper or something. Council's Judgment. And Cataclysm, because they put in a ton of Planeswalkers. Cataclysm, important to note here. I think I've talked about this a lot already, but every time I play against Loam, I try to impress this idea into people of the like Cataclysm is not the win the game button that it is against Miracles and Grixis. In this matchup, it is literally like I need to kill like these 2 Planeswalkers that are beating my face in, so I'm going to just like blow up everything, kill all the Planeswalkers, and restart. So like this is an emergency like double Heroes Downfall plus Armageddon. This is not a I win the game. Because they're a deck that has like Dark Confidant, what Mox Diamond, Life from the Loam, neither Reliquary. They can definitely rebuild from Cataclysm, and as such, typically you want to start conserving your land drops, just like saving them in your hand for later in the game to set up yourself post Cataclysm. Anyway, I could also see doing that. Revoker's kind of weak. I think Reliquary might just be like a slightly better Revoker in a lot of instances, and we still have the 1 to tutor for if we need to. There's a chance cutting something else is better. I don't know what, though. Maybe, like, a Caracas. Although, lands are kind of important. They definitely attack your mana base a lot. What's up, Moxall? So I didn't see all times. The Bernie just... I don't think we're playing... I guess would Hero Blade will be okay in this matchup? Probably not. I guess they have the Punishing Fire twice, right? Put them Mulligan to 6. I tend to actually, like, keep super reactive hands like this against Loam. With just, like, Port, Wasteland, Plow, and Judgment for, like, early threats. One of the easiest ways to lose against Loam, in my experience, is, like, keeping loose mana, because Loam is really good at attacking your mana. I've kept hands that's like, oh, Caracas, Wasteland, and then they just, like, Wasteland me and Abrupt Decay the Aether Vial, and the game's just over. That happens to me a lot more than I feel it should. So I like keeping kind of these, like, more dense hands, especially with multiple reactive, like, things to deal with. Are you strictly on 24 lands these days? Nah. I like it well enough. I'm happy with it. I like the Ancient Tomb, but I'd play 23 and I wouldn't really bat an eye. A lot of it is just kind of preference. I think 24 is a little bit better when you're like you're slanting your curve upward in post-board games where you're boarding in a bunch of 3s and 4s and stuff. And I think the days of like strictly 23 lands in every Death and Taxes deck was a lot of the times like before you really played 4 drops in Death and Taxes. But nowadays people are like on Jailer, 2 Jailers, Karn, Gideon, Cataclysms, and like you really want to consistently hit land drops. What'd you go for Tomb Crusader? Yeah, We realistically cut the Hallowed Spearkeeper from most lists for the tomb, but I'm testing out a list that I'm playing in paper this weekend, so I'm playing the Spearkeeper. But I would not recommend Spearkeeper online just because Grixis is just not nearly as prevalent as it once was. This is the sign of a good Death Antagonist player. You just always draw the Aether Vial. So what you're saying is Ancient Tomb is how we make your Bladehold viable? I mean, it does help you cast Hero Bladehold, right? It's white, two colorless. Turn 3 Hero Bladehold. How does anyone ever beat that? I guess I can just F6 here. So, there's a Dark Confidant, we got Plow. If it's like Mox Knight, we have Plow. If it's Mox Lily, we have Judgment in a couple turns. This might be like Abrupt Decay on my Vial. Hero Bladehold would be more playable if it was recruitable. I mean, yeah. A lot of cards would be a lot better if they had 2 toughness, weirdly enough. Brightling might be better as a 3-2. Be awkward, though, because it could never trade with a Grimog. It like goes up to 4-1. And it would take, like, 2 mana to pump it up to out of bolt range. So maybe not, but... Alright, so the Wasteland plan's off the table, because my opponent's just going to life from the Loam meets death, but these ports are definitely not nothing. Considering their mana early so they can't just deploy their heavy hitters that fast. It's definitely a fine plan. If Hero of Bladehold was like legendary, it's probably still just like bad Brimos at that point, though. Hero, 3-mana, 3-2 Hero Bladehold, now we're talking. Doesn't really matter what I port here. They have 2 Verdants in hand, they can just like fetch any color they want. Alright, so we're in for the long game here. Putting just dredging back Loam. Probably just casting Loam again. We're just going to keep sitting here. Yes, color shifted, Pia and Karan. They don't even need flying. Just make like 2 1/1 lifelinkers or first strikers or something. He needs a 2/2 Walking Ballista that can immediately impact the board when you can play him. It is very slow and reactive, but so is Loamerboy's hand here. So we're kind of good, just chilling. Move Council's Judgment if he slams a Planeswalker here, like a Liliana of the Veil. Probably discarding this Wasteland. If it's just like Lily uptick. Still waiting for color shifted True Name Nemesis. Oh god. Well, white True Name would be really busted. Can we make white True Name a 2/2 so it doesn't die at Dread Knight either? Wasteland my port? No, we're casting a Knight of the Reliquary. Nope. Wasteland the port? Phyrexian Crusader is kind of like the Black True Name. What is it? What does it have protection from? It's like white and red or something? Pro Path, Pro Bolt. What's up, K-Ponce? Alright, so Wasteland's fine. We're definitely content just sitting here. Would like to have a 2 there, but we board really high on the curve, so like it's not uncommon that we have like nothing to do. Yeah, pro red and pro white. If it also had like unblockable and also can't take damage from creatures, God, True Name's a really fucked up card. That's first strike. Yeah, well, it's close. I guess it definitely like beats a lot of things in combat, but also needs like unblockable, so you can just like murder them with like equipment. So I don't know what's happening here. Are we in draw step? I think he's considering dredging back Loam, maybe? Yeah, True Name was super a mistake. Fuck that card. This stream is no place for True Name apologists. Please leave if you think True Name is not a mistake. Yeah, Crusader plus Sword definitely murders people, but I would fucking tear my Crusaders in half to play a white True Name Nemesis. I would be gone. I would just out of my deck. Creature type human? Oh, jeez. A human True Name Nemesis? God, that would be super fucked up. I wonder what we're doing. This is a weird game. This is just a weird game of cat and mouse here. Ooh, Recruiter's nice. We do have to be wary. It might just be time for like Palace Jailer. We have so much removal to keep Monarchy. Just like bury him. It's almost tempting to just Recruiter cast. No, that's bad. Don't want to tap out for that. You gotta be wary of green fetches when you're getting Monarchy because they can fetch for Dryad Arbor, kill your stuff, and then like take Monarchy from you. True Name would or Stoneblade would be really dumb with. I don't know if they'd play 8, but like access to more than 4 True Name Nemesis would be fucked. Weird game of no threats and all answers. Yeah, I mean, that kind of happens. Kind of happy to play this game right now. I think the plan is just recruit Jailer, put in Jailer here, and just use a bunch of removal to protect Monarchy and bury him in card advantage. He does play like Bob plus Knight here. Let me just get an insane value. At least one threat. Play one threat. Resolves. This is a Johnny? Red-white? Johnny Vengeant, huh? Resolves. Keep my port tapped. Burying opponent with their favorite D&D card is value. That's fair. I think I might just Council's Judgment this at Johnny Vengeant. We don't really have a better plan. Yeah, don't really have a better plan. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. I don't think we know any of them. There might be like 1 or 2 cards that we know from the Loam, but hard to keep track of on Moto. Is to just plow the Recruiter from untapping and wisping it. Kind of fine with that. Expending premium removal my 1/1s. Deal. Take this file up. Another plow. Face when a Johnny Vengeance is viable in Legacy, but Hero isn't. If Hero played old were a Planeswalker, maybe. Well, we have our personal Howling Mine, and we have 3 Swords to Plowshares to protect it. Mills Liliana. It's 2 Liliana the Veils down, notably, and 1 Plow. Sanctum Prelate's looking better and better. Down to, like, a Liliana of the Veil, a single Swords to Plowshares, and, like, a couple other things that actually deal with a Sanctum Prelate on 2. We definitely have to be wary of fetch lands, which I assume he'll get back here and play 1. Cindervine's down. Yep, Cindervine's also down. Equipment are, like, pretty unreliable in this matchup, though. White, nope. What we really want at this point is, like, Rest in Peace into Cataclysm, or even just, like, Surgical this Loam into Cataclysm. Casting Cataclysm while you're the Monarch is pretty gas. But yeah, our hand is pretty stacked to defend the Monarchy here. The issue is now we don't have answer to another Planeswalker. Like, if he just plays Liliana Edicts my Jailer, it could get a little messy. The Monarchy counteracts the plus on it, but... Or it was like a last hope. That's pretty bad for me. We have, like, no real way to clock it very well. This is Knight, yeah, sure, deal. I'll take it. Get out of here. Wasteland my port, sure, we don't really need it. Drawing more basics is nice, so we can't just wasteland me to death with this Loam. Thanks for the 20 bits, Moxall. Appreciate it. Jailer is definitely carrying us through all of these lands that we're drawing. He has 1 fetch land in his hand, I think, still. A Verdant, 3 unknowns. Fortunately, we probably have to burn a plow on the Dryad here. Is this Kaya? Is it Kaya time? I don't even know what this card does. It comes back at the beginning of your next upkeep. You can... Okay, none of these effects are super threatening to me, so... If the minus is probably best here. Yeah. Because then if I attack with Jailer, it goes down to 1, and then he can just 0 it, put it back to 5. Hero Blade Hold probably wouldn't be very good here. I imagine there's some number of removal spells in his hand. Ballista would be a sweet draw. It's all Bobs on Coder? I hope so. He can't use any abilities besides her 0 if you just hit face next turn. What, hit her? Right? I mean, he could minus it and it just dies, but it seems worthless. He'd just blink his own Kaya, right? They'd come back in at 5 loyalty. But we're not, like, down more card advantage. I should probably stop playing lands, because I'm probably going to start discarding them. I might just Flicker Wisp this Aether Vial. It's not doing anything for me here. This Vial's also not doing anything for me here. The Palace Jailer's the only 4 in our deck. We have Flickers, they're Mox Diamond, but they're not strapped for lands. I think I'm just going to Wisp my Vial here. Just reset it to a more useful number in the future. Sure, I'll take a Stoneforge. So assuming he has no removal at all, we can kill the Kaya, even if it's 0s, but that's a pretty hefty assumption. That card doesn't have land in its type. We did it. I mean, we got a lot of lands to discard to, like, Kaya making me discard stuff. But it is definitely nice to get the Stoneforge Mystic eventually. Wasteland me, that's whatever. We're really, like, we have 4 basics, he can't do anything about them, so, like, that's fine. Probably not playing more basics here anytime soon. Yeah, the Kaya exiles itself. Do you pitch Wasteland or team? I'd probably pitch the Wasteland. Wasteland's not doing anything here. Oh yeah, the Kaya comes back on his turn. We're back at 5. Forgot about that's how that works. Yeah, smash. I think I'm playing Stoneforge here. We leave up 2 mana for still 2 plows, so still fine here. Let's go grab Sword of Fire and Ice. Yeah, basic lands are great. I said maybe I should be hitting some land drops, because we're just gonna, like, hit maximum hand size in a second. So maybe I should just be playing land drops. Like, if he's just using his turn, like, loaming back wastelands and wastelanding me more, so that's fine. Mills Lily, the Last Hope, that's great. Tabernacle is pretty obnoxious. Loaming back Tabernacle. We'll see if that's his plan. I feel like it is. It's gotta be his plan, right? The old Tabby in play for the rest of the game would be pretty annoying to have to deal with. Yep. I'm definitely regretting not playing a land. Oh man, Dredge Loam using the Kaya? What a combo. Oh shit, it's a Punishing Fire. Uh-oh. I'm glad Jacob appreciated my lock screen. So Punishing Fire is bad for me because we have not found a Surgical or a Rest in Peace or a Remorseful Cleric or anything yet. And that can just wipe my whole board. And then we're sitting at like a really awkward, like, Kaya versus Monarchy parody. There's the Knackle. Play the Knight. Do it. Nope. We had to kill the Kaya here, though, I think. He only has 3 mana here. We just pay for all my creatures, leave up a mana in case of, like, Dryad Arbor still. And we just attack Kaya with everything. Even buying back Punishing Fire, casting it, we still get to take the Kaya down. So that should be okay. Oh god, I hate Tabernacle on Moto. Attack everyone at Kaya. Cool, we killed it. So I'm going to play out the Crocus. It's like the least important land here. And we're going to be drawing a card to go into 8 here, so hitting land drops is something I want to be doing. I could go like Tomb Fire Ice, but that's really weak to the inevitable threat of Dryad Arbor. Flicker Spear is nice. If my whole board isn't Punishing Fire down by the end of this turn, which it very well might be. Batter Skull's nice. Batter Skull's less nice when I'm also getting attacked by a Wasteland, so it's harder to, like, pick it up and put it back in and stuff while holding up these plows to deal with creatures. But man, fuck if Palace Jailer isn't just the nut in this matchup. Not even buying back. Oh, he's playing around Surgical. Because he has the he bought back the second Grove here. So we can play this Grove and then buy back the P-Fire. Because now we can play around it. Knight. Deal. I can beat that. We're running low on plows, but we still have them. Assume this is the... Oh, getting extra life. Makes sense. Just makes the fetch free. I hate Tabernacle on Moto still. So we could, like, play an equipped sword with Ancient Tomb, but it's, like, straight up on the board, not going to work. Just buys back Punishing Fire, casts it on whatever I target. I think I like just putting in Sword of Fire and Ice on end step, and also being able to protect it with Wisp, if he has, like, an Abrupt Decay or an Assassin's Trophy or something for it. So we should attack for 5 here, and then play Plains. We also have the option of putting in Battle Skull if we want to do that. This has gotta get to, like, a Punishing Fire here, right? Flying Whale is my favorite. I don't know what that is. I suppose his name is probably a reference to something, so that tracks. I've never really stopped to consider it, though. So I assume this is, like, P-Fire my Wisp. I wonder if I'm supposed to just, like, Wisp my Wisp. I kind of want to, but probably not worth. I think we kind of need to find something else to deal with these Punishing Fires. Like, Wisping the Wisp is going to not really slow him down with his massive amount of mana and the ability to just buy back Punishing Fires over and over and over again. Like, that's not really a good plan to beat infinite Punishing Fires. It's like getting minimal value off this Wisp. I think I need to protect some of my more Punishing Fire proof stuff, like the Sword of the Battle Skull here, from like a Assassin's Trophy or a Abrupt Decay or Cinder Vines. It's a lot of Groves. Let's make a Batter Skull. Batter Skull's harder to Punishing Fire down. I continue to hate Tabernacle. Ooh, Surgical. It's going to be hard to finagle a Surgical on this Punishing Fire in the face of 3 Groves of the Burn Willows, but damn it if we're not going to try. So we could go Tomb. We could, like, put in Sword, Tomb, equip Sword to Germ. Requires buyback P-Fire, cast it, buyback P-Fire, cast it. We don't have mana to switch it over, though. I think I like just attacking. Have port. Yeah, we could have a port to tap one. Let's see how this turn works out. Buying back Punishing Fire, sure. Casting Punishing Fire on the Jailer, sure. Looks like he's just taking the 4. Or he has an Assassin's Trophy or something. Oh, he gets to buy it back on my Fatter Skull connection. I always forget about that. That's fun. It doesn't look like we're snagging this Punishing Fire yet. So I think I just want to keep playing. Actually, let's put a port here. I think we might be able to steal these P-Fires next turn, depending on how it goes. Yeah, P-Fire down my Stone Forge. Let's put in the sword. I don't think we're gonna port this Grove right now. He's just not gonna use the mana, so it doesn't really matter. I'll likely just port it in end step. Make him figure out what he wants to do. He'll probably just buy back the Punishing Fire though. He also might like loam back this Wasteland. Wasteland my port. Make it harder for me. Ooh, 2 P-Fires. It's definitely scary. Wasteland the port. Port the Grove. Buys back the P-Fires. Might be able to like Flicker Wisp a Grove and actually like finagle that into some sort of win. He has 2 P-Fires, he can kill this Germ, but it costs him 4 mana, which is definitely a lot. I think we're just going to equip the sword to this Germ and see what happens. I assume it's just going to end up being like Assassin's Trophy on the Batterskull. If his plan is just Punishing Fire down the Batterskull, that's not going to go super well for him. So he only has 3 mana up. We can still play a land, so we can Relic Ward of the Mox Diamond and then equip it with the sword and see how that goes. We still can't. He's like playing around the Surgical hard. Let's Relic Warder this Mox Diamond here. Just because there's no other targets. Maybe Relic Order my Batterskull. The poor man's Flicker. You could just have like a Lily. He's down 2 Liliana of the Veils though, so ability to deal with a sorted up guy isn't exactly like super high here. God, this game is taking forever. Formula Loam games take a long time. Obviously, it's a little bit exacerbated because we're both streaming here. So he's talking about what his lines are. I'm talking about what my lines are. Yeah, let's it go. All right. More plows. That's nice. I might just end up Flicker Wisping this Batterskull in his second main. Again, depending on how his turn breaks. Just untapping and making a bevy of threats. I'm concerned that we haven't seen like a single Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy. And he's seen 38 cards of his deck. What is a knight? We can beat a knight. Oh, this might be Loam. Yeah, he's got the Loam in his hand right now. Yep. Spec Wasteland, sure. There's the Triad Arbor. We found it. Couldn't you have flickered his Grove, force him to buy back the P-Fires, then Surgical it on the stack? No, he just buys back the P-Fire with the Grove. He doesn't have to buy back both, right? He just buys back the one using... When I target with the Grove with the Flicker Wisp, he taps that one, buys back a Punishing Fire, and he still has one Grove untapped, right? Do I want to just burn this Flicker Wisp on a Batter Skull? Probably. Deploys a lot of threats that he has to deal with. He only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So buying back up P-Fires down to 5, down to 4. He can cast like 2 P-Fires, but it's a lot for him to deal with. Let's go for it. People never believe when I tell them how hard it is to surgical. Yeah, people that like are actively playing around Punishing Fire. Sometimes in the early games you can snipe it before they have time to set up for it, but in the late game it definitely becomes a chess match. I will continue to hate Tabernacle. Alright. So play probably involves plowing this Dryad Arbor. What's the play after that, though? Is it just attack? See what happens? I could, like, move the sword over to the Germ. If he just, like, Abrupt Decay's Relic Warder, Punishing Fire's Flicker Wisp. He can Abrupt Decay anything, though, because, like, if he needs to, he can Abrupt Decay this Germ. He might P-Fire his own Dryad Arbor here, actually. I didn't think about that. So we can keep buying it back with Loam. Charm. Well, I guess that's a similar effect. Well, let's attack, see what happens. I assume it involves Abrupt Decay, right? Oh, jeez. He's just going to 2, huh? A risky gambit. Or maybe not risky, maybe he just like straight up doesn't have anything. Yeah, he just gets to buy back these P-Fires for free, sure. Yeah, we only have 6 cards in hand, so we can just pass here. As soon as we find another recruiter for Ballista, he just dies. I guess maybe I should have actually moved the sword over to the Batter Skull there. Sure, just Loam. There's an Abrupt Decay. Finally found one. Alright, the game's over. Oh, man. Whew. Oh, God. I forgot how exhausting 4-color Loam games are. We won game 1 on the play. We won game 2 on the draw. I'll set up another match. Whew. Yeah, I guess he just like didn't have any trophies or replicas. We're also just kind of on the mill plan at that point. We might have been able to just like kill all of his threats left in his deck and like deck him. He was at like 17 cards or something. Who won the die roll? He can go first this turn. Just to make it even in testing. Getting loamed out. We won game 1, or match 1. It took a long time, but we did it. Now we're on match 2. This hand also sucks a lot. Yeah, that's surgical. I'm trying to figure to say like when I drew it. Jailer is too. Jailer is just obscene. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. How about you? Ooh, this hand is pretty good. Definitely down for keeping this. Like, Sanctum Prelate in game 1s against Loam, and also just in general. I think I top this, honestly. Like, the way we're curving out, we're just going to turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Port, put in Mom, turn, like, Thalia, Revoker, Prelate all over. Luxac, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Anyway, yeah, I think we're topping this. Yeah. In general, my life's been, like, pretty hectic recently, but it's nice that I get to just wind down and just chill, play some, Magic. Oh, wow, I didn't consider Chalice of the Void when. Alright, well, that worked out. I guess I shouldn't consider Chalice of the Void when doing that scry, because this is game 1. Don't like to, rude. It's just like, Lily, get me. Also, Knight would probably get me, like, any other 3-drops. It's just, like, super bad news. I think Lily's actually better for me than Knight. We're just going to discard this Mom. Like, no point where we're actually playing it. Like, maybe it's discard Thalia? Oh, discarding Trophy, huh? Or Focus Lily, hope that gets me there. I assume the last card in his hand is a removal spell if he's discarding Assassin's Trophy, though. Go, Revoker. Do your thing. I'll try to diversify my format. That's what I always think about. It's like, maybe I should play formats that aren't Legacy. And then I like look over a Modern, and then I play some Arena, and I'm like, maybe I should just keep playing Legacy. What did he keep over the trophy? He's got to he's got to be a removal spell, right? That or like a Knight of the Reliquary. Some of the only cards you'd ever keep over just discarding a removal spell in the Death and Taxes matchup. Okay, it's a Knight. So now we draw like exactly Plow. Oh, we're probably dead here. Play Modern, discard lands to Burning Inquiry. Yeah, exactly. So he's, what, 1 turn away from Cabal pitting me with this Knight? So if we, like, Pearled on 2, he can sack Forest for fetch land, fetch, go up to 6 cards in Graveyard, and the next turn he can sack a Forest to get Cabal Pit, the Revoker, Edict, the Prelate, or something along those lines, or just Cabal Pit the Prelate. Doesn't need the Lily as much. So it's probably not time to run out Prelate yet, considering he only has one card in hand. I think we just need to hope we find an answer this night. Modern's the worst it's been for a while. Yeah, I have not been super high on Modern in a fair bit. So we need to draw like a second Revoker, Swords of Plowshares. That's like maybe it. We're now a mana off of drawing Jailer. What's wrong with it? It's like been a growing problem since like I don't know when it started going downhill, but definitely like Creeping Chill started tipping the scales towards my enjoying my amount of enjoyment from the format. But just like these like widely variable like busted linear strategies that take like all different sorts of hate to fight, it makes Modern a format about sideboards. And just like, oh, did you bring the correct sideboard cards for the matchup, and then did you find said sideboard cards to take on the various super linear strategies? Yeah, never did. It's probably concession time if we don't draw a land, or if we don't draw like exactly Swords to Plowshares, and even then we need to draw another Revoker or something. Is it concession time? This just gets like a Cabal Pit. We'll keep playing for a tiny bit. This thing comes in at 3, right? Yeah. But I do think we're basically dead. Modern Suck Longboard. I think, yeah, I couldn't put... Oh, I was supposed to look at the Mox Diamond. Oops. Oh, well, I think we're dead. Yeah, I was trying to put my finger on like where I started liking Modern a lot less. I don't know where it was, but it definitely like the tipping point for me was around Creeping Chill. Just like Dredge being a tier 1 strategy is like very miserable. Unpent Twin. Oh yeah, I forgot this thing has another mode on it. Funny that. The new pod deck is sweet. Oh yeah, Vannifar looks fun. I don't think it looks like super competitive. That's also a weird symptom of Modern, is that Modern, for me, is like it feels a lot more wide open than it is to people, and because of that, people love to play like a lot of like random ass garbage, and that just exacerbates the sideboard problem because there's like, I think looting decks are the anti-decks. Yeah, fuck Faithless Looting. Like, Modern is a format that has, like, whatever, like, a million viable decks, but I don't think a lot of them are actually viable. I think most of them are pretty bad, but people will just continue to play them because they just didn't, Modern tricks them into thinking that they can play their, like, tier 4 deck in a format because they'll queue in a bunch of other people on their, like, random garbage, and then consistently die to, like, Phoenix and Burn and whatever's tier 1 right now. But then you can register Soul Sisters, and you never lose to Burn, so Soul Sisters has to be viable. Anyway, same cuts as last time. We lost on the draw. Now I'll be on the play. People play Garbage and Legacy too. Yeah, but the Garbage is a lot more, like, condensed, and there are a lot more, like, more applicable sideboard cards. Like, Force of Will keeps a lot of the silliness in check, because, like, Force of Will hits a lot of the same garbage. Whereas you don't have to play, like, 5 different sideboard cards to interact with, like, 5 different weird modern decks and then get bodied by, like, the 6th and 7th when you register. Like, when you sign up for an SCG and then, like, just play against tier 17 garbage in the first couple of rounds. Yeah, exactly. Play against 4 real decks, and then there's just, like, some nonsense that comes out of the woodwork and bodies you. Anyway, I would love to play first. So Signet Prelate is not as strong as in the pre-board games because they get access to a lot more ways to remove it. They have different planeswalkers that are removal spells, like a Johnny and stuff. And they usually bring in like 2 Swords to Plowshares. That being said, I think this hand's still good enough. Like I had talked about before, I like keeping these like proactive hands. Or not proactive, these really reactive hands. Sorry. These are completely the opposite of proactive cards. Oh, is the weather outside? Is it snowing? Here's something like tapping on the window. Anyway. So this will be good if he has like early Bob or early Night. We have Judgment for a Walker. Probably just slamming Prelate on 2 unless we find something better to do in the meantime. I don't expect the Prelate to live very long, though. It can randomly catch him off guard, though, occasionally. I can't tell if that's blue-red dragon control or dragon control. But either way, I know you're memeing me all the time. Man, this feels like bait. This feels like bait, and I shouldn't wasteland it. Apparently, oh yeah, the Bug Teachings deck. just absolute nonsense. Both. Fair. I feel like this wasteland's gotta be bait, right? I'm not taking it. I'm not taking the bait. If this is like protecting colored sources, like his hand is like Wasteland, Bayou, Dark Confidant, or whatever, and just plow the Dark Confidant and then Wasteland the actual colored source. I don't think wastelanding this Wasteland is where I want to be. This could also be like Mox Diamond into 3-drop. Ooh, Sylvan. I may need to Council's Judgment that. Which also means I can't Wasteland, which is sad. Ooh, Jailer's really good. I'll take it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Judgment this Sylvan Library. I think he's Manatite. I think that's why this sequencing happened. Protect the colored source. Oh, no. The sequencing would have been just like Windswept Go, right? Either way, I think I just have to exile the Sylvan. It's like way too many cards. Play Knight. Just cast Knight of the Reliquary. What could go wrong? Everything I touch just absolutely bodies it. I think if I were to like get back into Modern, I might actually like try out Thalia Stompy again. As bad of luck with it as I had like previously, I think Chalcedoid's like in a pretty good spot in the current Modern climate. Because we're pitching this Caracas. Discard Tabby. Ancient Tomb, huh? I think I just need to jam Jailer into this Liliana. We have a Plow to defend the Monarchy. We need to pressure this Lily. Depends on what am I playing and what am I discarding. Am I playing the Ancient Tomb or do I want the Wasteland in play? I might want the Wasteland in play, honestly. Discard this Ancient Tomb. I don't think leaving up Swords to Plowshares is a big factor. I think we're just going to slam. I also could discard the card I draw. I don't know what it is. Go, Jailer. Win me this game like you do every time. We're probably not discarding that. We're probably discarding this Tomb. This is P-Fire Grove. This could be bad. Because Lily could get out of hand. Because we can't defend against P-Figure with the Prelate, because he has Liliana in play. Oh, that's good. If I can force these edicts. Good old Robert. So Loam. Second Sylvan. That's mean. Ooh, Recruiter, interesting. I could recruit Revoker, revoke Lily, and plow this Dark Confidant. The problem is this Sylvan probably finds him a removal spell, and then if the Sylvan finds a removal spell, then it kills the Revoker. The Lily probably upticks, and then we just have a Recruiter in play, but then the Lily upticks, we discard whatever card we draw, likely. And then we have Flicker Wisp on the Recruiter, so maybe that's okay. Plow Prelate to force an edict. Wait, plow and cast Prelate to force the edict? Maybe. Maybe that's actually a fair line. It's just like, it's my best way of getting Lily off the table, and we have, like, ways to grind back into this game. I don't hate that line. He doesn't have any white mana, so it's less likely to get plowed. Excuse me. I'm definitely playing this Bob, and then we have Ancient Tomb Recruiter. Recruiter can just find better things, though, is what I want. It's a Moxel high-risk special. I actually, like, don't hate it. It's, like, not unreasonable. Like, Prelate isn't, like, the end-all, be-all, especially post-board, so I like just kind of using it to kill this Lily. And we have a bunch of stuff to redeploy. Well, let's go for it. I'm going to hold this Ancient Tomb in my hand in case he, like, plows the Signet Prelate and upticks the Lily. I want to be able to discard a land. Not unreasonable here. This Lily's kind of putting the squeeze on us. Ooh, Ballista. Alright, that changes things. We might discard this Flicker Wisp now. Ancient Tomb Ballista for 3 can actually clear the Lily if we need to. If he has like land, plow the Prelate plus the Lily, discard Wisp. Then we go Ancient Tomb Ballista for 3, kill this Liliana. I might waste land me though, which makes that plan worse yet again, but we'll play by ear. He has to go through a whole turn to figure out what goes on here. Do have to be wary of Dryad Arbor. We don't currently have an answer to a Knight of the Reliquary, which is really bad for us. Knight of the Reliquary could get really bad. We don't have a plow for it. Alright. Moxel's plan seems to be working out. Yeah, Ballista's been gas. Was this another Planeswalker? Please be one that downticks, not a Johnny. Man. I can just Ballista for 2 here. I have 4 mana, so I can't really do much else. I can, like, recruit something. I don't even know what I would recruit. I think I'd rather try to... Although, it would end up being... Cast Removal Spell on Ballista. Ballista pings a Johnny twice. He pluses a Johnny on the Tomb. We spend next turn having 4 mana anyway. What are my recruiting options right now? Stoneforge, Spirit Keeper. How's Spirit Keeper looking right now? 2 cards in the graveyard? Not great. You could also have Golgari Charm, something to be aware of. I think Ballista is probably my best play. Man, how sick would a Cataclysm have been? Probably not even that sick. He has a Sylvan, but... Cleric's a nice draw. Can maybe snipe a Punishing Fire at some point in its life. In its unlife. I feel like this Ballista is just going to soak up a removal spell and then take the Ajani down 2 loyalty counters. And the Ajani's going to plus on the Ancient Tomb, and we're going to have 4 mana and not know what to do with it. Ooh. Wait. Yeah, this is going to plus on the Ancient Tomb, so this doesn't quite work. We can draw, like, Wasteland or Port. Nice. Alright, well, that works. So now we can Cleric, exile the graveyard, ping down the Knight, and port this Dryad Arbor. At least for 1 turn. Then he pluses the Ajani on the port. Then we have to deal with whatever comes next. Man, if he has, like, the black cycle land, we just get... No, we don't get owned. I just put 2 damage on this and then sack the Remorseful Cleric. Like, not an idiot. Shouldn't have attacked with the Ballista first. Into a 6/6? He just blocks, right? I guess I could have waited until end step to do that, to see if I just, like, top deck a Source of Plowshares or something. That's probably better. Aha, I did have the Baronmoor. We did it! We did it like a smart person. Look at that. Look at that. Look at me not being an idiot. I'm so proud of me. But if he keeps the port tapped, notably, we get our Ancient Tomb, which gives us more mana. Which is nice. We do have to be a little bit concerned about this Dryad Arbor stealing the Monarchy from us. There's nothing under here. We just, like, played it out. Also just almost kill him. Ooh, Wasteland plus a Johnny. That's a beating. Oh, another night. Yikes. We might be dead now. No? Bob. Alright. But yeah, that Wasteland's not good for us. This is, just in general looking kind of bad now. What is our plan? Johnny's ticking up. We're about to lose Monarchy. We can't really recruit... Maybe just recruit Spirit Keeper and hope that crosses the finish line. He's at 4. We have like a Wasteland for this Dryad Arbor. He could Lightning Helix the Recruiter notably and take Monarchy from me with the Bob. Bob also might just almost kill him. So I think that might actually be the best plan. We have Recruiter if he keeps ticking up with you, Johnny, so it can't just Armageddon me. No, I mean we have Wisp, sorry. It might just be Recruit Spirit Keeper time. We have like nothing else that's even close to useful enough right now. I guess I'm supposed to Wasteland this right now, right? So we can't, like, use it for mana. He's gonna take Monarchy. Yeah, Bob just flips Kaya, kills him. Please. Flips Cabal Pit. Mean. I assume he's gonna Lightning Helix just for life here, too. But if he Lightning Helixes, this thing goes down to 4. He goes up to 7. And we unlock 6 mana, so we can, like, Spirit Keeper plus Stoneforge for Batterskull or something, or Spirit Keeper plus Wisp on something or other. Oof. He's got Golgari Charm, we're just boned, but that's life. But now we can Spirit Keeper plus Wisp as a Johnny. Oh, no, we can't, because he keeps the Ancient Tomb tapped down. Five creatures in the yard. Playing with fire, not helixing with this Johnny Veget, though. He's at 4. There are, like, probably only one card in his deck that actually kills him, though, the Kaya, right? Swords to Plowshares, like, one turn too late. Don't really want to plow this Bob. Cataclysm. Cataclysm probably wouldn't win me the game. He's got the oh yeah, he's got the library going. Yeah, that's true. I didn't super factor that in. But yeah, that makes sense on why he's not concerned about the Bob. All right, Spirit Keeper, carry us across the finish line time. Wait, hang on. It actually might be worth plowing this Bob. No, it's too late now. Wow, that was the best card to stack there. The Legacy Pit, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. It's at 1. Don't really want to plow this Bob. Yeah, he should always draw 0, but maybe he's got like some unfortunate Sylvans. Don't think I'm supposed to plow. Definitely don't plow this response. I need to feed the creatures. Also need him to not have Golgari Charm, because if he has Golgari Charm, we just like straight die. But If he doesn't, I think we might be able to get this. Gonna discard the Stoneforge, feed the Spirit Keeper even more. Wait. Oh, he's sacking his own Bob. Gonna be hard to induce that. Don't do it. Don't do it to me, man. Don't Golgari charm me. Oh no, it's just Swords of Plowshares. Yeah, that tracks. Alright, so we need to draw an untapped land to even, like, try to climb back into this game. And discard this sword. We have 1 turn to draw it, right? Or, like, 2 turns. Alright, well, he needs to go to 9 here, I guess. There's no point in playing this Wisp. I could, like, Wisp my own land. The Wisp actually, like, buys me some time from this Lily. I think I'd rather just discard a Batterskull. Hopefully make him, like, down-tick the Ajani on this or something. Yeah, it's definitely not looking like we're favored here, but the Cataclysm means we're, like, not completely dead, so... we can at least play towards an out. But Cataclysm being the guy who gets to keep Mox Diamond, Sylvan Library, Land, Monarchy, is versus us keeping land is not a winning line. You got this. We need to draw we need to draw the 4th land, cast Cataclysm, and then we need to rip running lands. We need my opponent to brick. We need to rip like land and then rest in peace before he finds Loam. Yeah, well, it's not exactly the exchange I wanted. Maybe he'll play another Liliana of the Veil. Cindervines, sure. Is this a Loam? Probably need to concede to life from the Loam. Yeah. What is this? This is, we're playing Death in Texas vs. 4-color Loam. Doing some testing with a friend of mine. Alright, so... we just cast Cataclysm, I guess. Oh man, he gets to deal us 1. I'm gonna drag this game out forever. Yeah, Cataclysming into the guy who has Sylvan, Mox, Land, Monarchy and a Loam in the graveyard. Probably not winning the game, but you never know. We'd deck him. He did buy back Dryad Arbor, so that's a 16-turn clock. He's only down 2 knights, so he's got 2 more knights in the deck. 3 Dark Confidants. Punishing Fires. Wow, LMAO is censored? The game was over on the night at the table? Yeah, the game might have been over a little bit before that, honestly. I think the game was over when he had the Source of Plowshares. It's probably a fair assessment, right? Because we're definitely still in it up to the point where he exiled. We're not gonna deck him. He's got 2 knights left in his deck, and the knights are gigantic. He also has 24 cards in the library. That's like 12 turns minimum. He'd like play the Dryad Arbor in his hand and almost clock me that fast. Alright, this Bob kills him. That's a new plan. Just needs to flip Ulamog. Only 8 turns dredging Loam. He doesn't need to dredge Loam that much, though, right? Like he already has 4 mana. He doesn't need that much more. I stand by my previous statements. Alright, we'll see. We'll see if he decks before I die. Punch fire in my face. I like it. He's at 7. He can also punch fire his own Dark Confidant at any time. There's probably some merit in conceding just to like get more testing in, right? Because we're actually on a 0% here. We're just dead in 5 turns to this Dark Confidant. We're dead in 1 turn to this Knight of the Reliquary. Swords of Plowshares, gimme. Let's get him. Oh, nice. Take that, Sylvan Library. I want to exile it. Gimme. Anyway, I need to record that on the play. Weird. We won our post-war game on the draw. I mean, obviously, sample size of 2 is incredibly small, but it's like totally backwards. 2-0-2'd. Hey, Static. Thanks for the 8-month resub. Appreciate the support. How's it going? Well, we just got our butt kicked, but we kicked his butt match 1, so we're 1-1. Feeling pretty good. Is this the old magic? I suppose that's one term for it. I don't know how much you're memeing me. Well, what do you play first this time? Sand is, it looks like it was made in 1998, old school. Oh, like the program? Because MTGO is definitely not the most top-of-the-line, software, that's for sure. It definitely has the old Windows P aesthetic. Sand is definitely on the medium side of things. On the play, though. Program is at least 2001. I like Vile Port Revoker. I keep this. This is definitely on the lower end of keeps. Just like the blind. Everyone in chat knowing when Moto was created. I certainly don't. I can't port a Fairding Catacombs. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. Try the new Magic game. Yeah, I play Arena in my spare time, Max. But it does not play all of the formats that I like to play, like this one is Legacy. So I am relegated to playing in with nonsense programs from 2002. 100% can port a Catacombs. I can't port it effectively. Vile port. Yeah, Vile port combo is pretty hard to turn down with like any sort of like decent things going on here. Definitely not strong, but it's like almost acceptable. Yeah, that's more or less my thoughts, Shiloh. It's like fine. I like it for standard or limited. I can't imagine that it ever like in its current form, it's like so hard, like it's so far removed from ever getting to modern, let alone legacy. Pour this Fairding Catacombs. Arena, yes, Arena does a really good job at what it does, which is like introduce a lot of new people to Magic in general and play recent limited sets as well as standard very, very well for the most part. It's a lot more intuitive than Moto, but it definitely has its fair share of issues. Speaking as a more veteran to Magic player who doesn't really care about some of the more convenience things. Interesting that he didn't want to wasteland my Rashawn port there. Yeah. There are definitely some gripes with it. I personally don't like a lot of trying to cast cards or set stops, like casting cards not in your main phase, or like casting instants not just like in response to stuff your opponent is doing is just like the hardest thing in the world on Arena for absolutely no reason. Yeah, and also having no F6 button. Don't think I'm putting in this Revoker. I guess I could and just untap with a Wisp. Just revoke Liliana the Veil here. Does this technically doesn't... This means a Liliana the Veil deck, right? Wasteland Badlands. I think I just kind of want to get a clock into play. Yeah. Liliana of the Veil. Like, P-Fire down right now if he wants. It's just kind of life. Def means 4 color. They could be like Jund, right? These lands are not super great. Yeah, his mana's a little bit wonky. Having to fetch like a bunch of red to cast that Punishing Fire and stuff there. Jund Legacy is perhaps 4 color Loam. Also fair. I cannot remember the last time I played against pure Jund. Especially since they banned Deathrite. That deck's probably like horribly unplayable. You supplement Deathrite by playing Mox Diamond and Chalice of the Void in your deck, and then, oh wow, you're 4 color Loam. Look at that. Where'd that go? Where'd that come from? Cabal Pit, sure. Wasteland me, sure. I wonder if I was supposed to wisp that. I don't think so. Bob, sure. I don't think I'm supposed to wisp here. It feels pretty weak. Let's draw, like, Jailer or Recruiter. Or Wisp. I guess I should play one now, right? Again, I want to get a clock on the table. I'm concerned that if he has, like, Grove, we're in for a real bad time. I could also just, like, keep sitting on my hands. And just sit back with a million Flicker Wisps in my hand. Maybe running it out into, like, Liliana of the Veil isn't smart. Wisp our land. Like, just wisp the land, pass with another wisp up. Yeah, I think I like just waiting a little bit. I don't like just casting a wisp. I might put in a wisp on end step, and then it's not protected by the other wisp, but I also don't like just running out a wisp into a Liliana. I guess it trades 1 for 1, right? Because we vial on the other wisp and kill it. We do definitely need some pressure. Yeah, I mean, we kept a kind of awkward draw, and it has only gotten more awkward for us. Looking for Prelate. There we go. Love seeing that. This just means we get to kill the Lily for free? Flicker Wisp in the main phase, importantly, so it comes back out on his end step. So we can attack and kill it. Ooh. I think it might be time for the Palace Jailer. I think it is time to just Violent Recruiter, cast Palace Jailer, go from there. Got 3 cards in hand, just grind him out with Jailer. We have 2 good targets for the Wisp, so like he has to kill the Jailer and the Recruiter to prevent this Wisp from getting good value. It is time for Jail. Let's draw some cards. We got Wisp for Jailer. If he's like casts a gets a white source, plays a Knight. We have Wisp for Recruiter to just get value. That's kind of mean. I guess I'm just Wisping my Recruiter for value then. I feel like we're pretty favored here now. We should have like a pretty overwhelming board state. I wonder what the grab here is with Recruiter. I guess I don't have to figure it out, right? I can target my Wisp. My Wisp comes back in on end step, and then I Wisp the Recruiter. Okay, you can see it. Sure. That's probably the play, right? Wisp my Wisp. Wisp hits the Recruiter. The Recruiter comes in on his end step, so I don't really have to figure out what I'm doing until he goes through his turn. Anyway, do the same sideboarding thing. Still unsure if the Relic Order is actually worth it. You have Monarchy versus a lone player with 3 lands. I mean, fair. I cut a Revoker here too, right? Yeah, brought it in the 3rd Recruiter, right? Just a matter of like, I'm not even certain I'm like sideboarding for this matchup correctly. I've never been super confident in my sideboarding for like Loam specifically. I don't think GTA is good enough, but like maybe I'm supposed to be keeping in like GTA and Stoneforge here. If you expect Reanimator and no Show and Tell, is Macabre better than Containment Priest? I think there's probably better cards than Fairy Macabre you can be playing, but I also think Containment Priest is kind of bad right now. I think this should be a Grafdigger's Cage and probably will be tomorrow when I'm just playing in a normal league. But if it's your only graveyard hate that's recruitable, yeah, if it's your only recruitable graveyard hate, I'd probably be playing at least 1 Fairy, or probably maximum 1 Fairy. But I prefer my graveyard hate to be a lot more versatile, like Grafdigger's Cage, Rest in Peace, Surgical Extraction. But yeah, I'm not confident in boarding in Relic Order. I could see it being a Revoker. I'm also not confident in boarding in, or boarding out. I could see like maybe just cutting all the Revokers seems kind of weak though, or it seems kind of scary. Like leaving in 4th Stoneforge and leaving in the GTA or something. Revoker or Relic Order. There's a chance that's correct, but I'm also like kind of concerned because this 4-color Loam has been playing more Sylvan Libraries lately, so being able to like even temporarily kind of like stem the bleeding on Sylvan Library with it. GTA doesn't do a ton. It does kind of defend the Monarchy from their like random piddlers, so you can save your plows for their big guys though. Sand seems like a keep. Okay. I just like F6 there was turn, it was gonna get awkward there. Don't play a Bob, please. I want to cast this Vial on turn 1. Yeah, it is like everything we want though. Got early game removal, Recruiter for like Jailer or probably Jailer. Got Prelate. Prelate on 2 again is always weaker in the post-board games though. Just played for some modern paradoxical outcome deck. What are you even bouncing with that? Picking up your Memnites and shit? Sylvan. Well, I can't plow a Sylvan, as much as I don't want this on the table. Modern paradoxical outcome. Does sound kind of like nonsense. Robert? Oh, man. Ooh. That's fun. We have surgical. Make P-fires more clunky. Arayo, Srom, and Monastery Mentor. Jeez. Like paradoxical Cheerios? Alright, well that's dead. Spirit Keeper, not great right now. That's for sure. Am I just recruiting for Jailer right now? Probably. It seems like a lot of payoffs. Arayo, Mentor, and Sai. Wasn't combo. Just like value. Value paradoxical. Probably just grabbing Jailer. We don't have the mana for it yet, but Jailer's just so good. If he just like plays a Knight, we definitely need removal here. Guess I shouldn't have 6. If he like gets greedy and P fires down this recruiter for mana efficiency, with surgical to P fire. There's also a chance the surgical actually like goes after a Loam if we plan on cataclysming or something. The real dream is just draw land, Jailer, and then like maybe get Spirit Keeper down and then Cataclysm or something like that. Or even just like Jailer into Cataclysm. You can definitely rebuild with land, Diamond, Library, but being able to like maybe like tag a Planeswalker, keep Monarchy, just be able to rebuild faster. Not drawing a bunch of cards off of Loam. Man, he's got those Verde Catacombs in play. Makes the Palace Jailer, like, way riskier. Because he can fetch Dryad Arbor, kill my blockers, I don't have, like, a Plow. The fact that we drew Ancient Tomb means that if I had a Plow, I could just go Jailer plus leave up a mana. But I don't think I can afford a Jailer this turn. I think I'm just going, like, Prelate on 2 here. Try to, like, get some fuel going for this Howled Spirit Keeper. I wonder if I play this out. I don't want to get it to get wastelanded. Probably honestly don't play it out. Block warriors. I'm not blocking any warriors. I am 100% a coward, Moxall. I will own it. I'm not going to just cast Jailer, say go, watch him P-fire down my Jailer and Recruiter, hit me with a Dryad Arbor, and I lose the game. That's fine. It's a plow that doesn't go at like a Hallowed Spirit Keeper or something. No Arbor. Alright, well, hopefully it doesn't... Oh, did he always have this other fetch in play too? Was I just like completely blind? Might just be jamming Spirit Keeper to minimal value here. Goes to 8, alright. Play another Grove. So now I can play around Surgical because he found another Grove. We still can't really jam Jailer into this Windswept Heath without backup. I don't want to spend this turn doing nothing. Is it just Spirit Keeper? I'm concerned if he has P-Fire that we're just going to get, like, absolutely demolished by it. We need to find a removal spell for like, a Wasteland or something for this Dryad Arbor. I think it has to be just, like, run out Spirit Keeper. He has 3 cards in hand. I'm drawing so many off of Sylvan. I think we should, like, get some pressure. There's a chance I don't want to play that land. I'm trying to think ahead to, like, when I'm Cataclysming and stuff. Fetch with your Heath. Find more red sources to cast P-Fires. I want to deal with this Dryad Arbor. Black Man. Is this an Abrupt Decay? Let's just cycle Baron more, sure. No removal spells cast yet. It's good for my Hallowed Spirit Keeper. Three Groves, alright. We're probably never surgicaling this Punishing Fire until after a Cataclysm. Could Judgment the Sylvan Library, or Judgment the Diamond. Judgment the Diamond set up for Cataclysm. Thoughts on Throne of the High City for last 25 to 27. The True Tech. How much does that cost to activate? 5 mana and tap sack? Probably just passing this turn, honestly. Four and tap sack? Okay. One less than I thought. It's basically just better Seagate wreckage, right? You just have to pay 4 mana once instead of like 3 mana every time. Thoughts on Jailer for Chasing Miracles? We were talking about that yesterday, I think. How Patrick hates it. But Anurag had been trying it out recently. Seems like this deliberation has to be over, like, something involving punishing fires. Try Ojutai Exemplar over Brightling, Moxall. Come on. Get with the true Miracles tech. As much as I want to exile this Mox Diamond, it's just, like, can't be correct. I just want to save it for a Planeswalker. Although we have Cataclysm to do with a Planeswalker. And, like, Judgment... Hey, we got the fetch! We did it! We can cast Palace Jailer! I assume this is just, like, to try to clear my board here. Get basically no value, trade with the Recruiter here. I'll take it. Go, Palace Jailer. Now we have Cataclysm all set up here. I technically have enough mana to cast Cataclysm, or cast Judgment on the Mox Diamond and Cataclysm in the same turn if I play my Tomb pre-Cataclysm. Which I might look into. It's, like, not super likely. I'm just happy if Spirit Keeper and Recruiter 8 Dryad Arbor and Assassin's Trophy finally let me cast this Palace Jailer. He's at 6 life, notably. 6 is not a lot of life. Jeez, at this rate, you're getting like 3 matches and that's it. 4-color Loam games take forever. And they're all in like 2, too. This is game 2. Alright, that resolves. Was this a knight? We can beat a knight. I wonder if I just, like, Flicker Wisp my Jailer, attack them for 1. Put the Knight under the, And then if they, like, have a Punishing Fire and they Punishing Fire down the Jailer in response, we still have, like, Tomb Judgment, worst case. We could, like, also just Judgment to attack them for 3. And then cast, like, anything. Kind of like the Flicker Wisp line, though. Oh, that actually worked. I'm waiting for this fucking Containment Priest to just absolutely demolish me. But it's like, there's no reason he should have, like, feasibly have a Containment Priest here. But I'm still horrified of it. Man, I'm just unrealistically scared of this Containment Priest. There's like no way though, right? Had me scared for a second there. He's just like abrupt decaying something or something. Kogari Charm, sure. Alright, we're still fine. Alright, looks like it's time for Relic Order Cataclysm? Or I guess Cataclysm Relic Order. Cast Cataclysm. And I'd have to play land if I want a Cataclysm and Relic Order. Huh. How do I want to play this? I'd probably just afford to play land, right? I could also just... Yeah, Cataclysm feels port I don't like. Hello, cat. We have a lot... most of the roads lead to Rome at this point, I think. Can you not bite my finger, cat? Huh? If he casts a removal spell, he's just like down to one land. Ooh, Wasteland's a good draw. Oh God, what do you want? What do you want, cat? Why are you doing this to me? Get your butt out of my face. It's gonna be... Alright, he's just dead. We did it! We just have like ports and wastelands there, and this game's probably over. Just gonna see if he wants to go one more round here. It is getting kind of late with the rate that these matches are going too. If I want to like sit and decompress a little bit and chat. I don't know if he's... I don't know he's here. We'll jam one more. Get a good 4 matches in like we did with Miracles. seems like I think all of my wins actually have been on the back of Palace Jailer. We've won 4 times. I think all of them have involved me being the Monarch. Also, one of my losses have involved me losing the Monarch, notably. Palace Jailer just seems absolutely busted in this matchup. Palace Jailer. Well, this hand sucks a lot. Just very, very bad. This hand is medium at best. It's like pretty decent if we're nowhere up against Loam. Because we have Remorseful Cleric, which is useful. Tech it, like pinging down a Punishing Fire or whatever, but lands and spells in a decent ratio is going to be a keep on a Model 6. Ship that to the bottom. Cabal Peg go. Like, if he Punishing Fires this Mother of Runes, then we might just, like, turn 2 Cleric away the Punishing Fire or something. I might not. There's a chance. Decay. Yep. Ooh. I think Thalia is slightly better than Stoneforge here. Keeps him off of, like, just Lily edicting whatever I play. And next turn we can also, like, Caracas plus Stoneforge. It's bad news if he just goes Knight. Getcha. But we're both sitting around Molda 5s, so... Or Molda 6s, so... You do what you can. No Knight. Nice. Stoneforge for sword here. What's up, Equimoy? How's it going? We're jamming some Death and Taxes versus 4-color Loam right now. So far, the only thing that I've learned is that Palace Jailer is a really busted Magic card in this matchup. We're 2-1 in matches, and this is game 1 of the 4th match. This is just a P-Fire. Goodbye, Stoneforge. Is he thinking about killing the Thalia? Like, less taxing if he wants to go, like, untap, Grove, pick it up, kill the other thing anyway. He just wants to basically 3-mana unsummon my Thalia. Yeah, Stoneforge down. So, there's a chance we can try to Cleric this Punishing Fire away. Which I would definitely be down for. Punishing Fire is an easy way to lose game 1s. So I mostly play Modern Casual EDH. What do I need to know about Legacy? I guess it depends. Like, if you have any misconceptions about the format. There are definitely, like, a lot of introductory things if you're trying to get into the format or something, and like a lot of people I know are fearful of it because it's like a scary format filled with like super busted cards and like, oh, you get turn 1 killed and whatever. But it kind of depends on like what your knowledge of Legacy is jumping in. Yeah, Brainstorm's a really good card. I should know about Force Days and Fetch Shuffle Brainstorms. It's a good start. But yeah, like the archetypes are mainly the Chalice decks and the Brainstorm decks are like the 2 biggest archetypes, and then there's shit like Death and Taxes. The 2 cards left in hand. So at any point in time, Thalia's Taxes. What's the death? The Legacy, I guess the good thing to know about Legacy to start is that Legacy's deck names are really stupid and don't make any sense. There is no death in Death and Taxes. They're one of the alleged ways that the name started is from like the saying, the only things for sure in life are death, taxes, and some guy playing white weenies. There's also a different alleged name or alleged origin of the name, but in general, Legacy names are just like kind of dumb and have like stupid origins, or they're just named after like one of the combo pieces, like Sneak and Show or 4-color Loam, I guess. Not quite a combo piece, but like need to brew up white-black taxes and add Death Shadow. Tinfin's names are the biggest offenders. Fuck Tinfin's names. God, I hate them. Nick Fit's another dumb one. He named it after like some like band or a song from a band or something. I don't even know what Sylvan Plug is from. Anyway, in this game, he has the ability to wasteland my Caracas whenever he wants. So this Thalia isn't exactly like safe. So I might just tap out and just go Vile Cleric, clear the yard. Let's see what the Ant, yeah. Ad nauseum tendrils. At least, like, some of those make some sense. Like, ad nauseum tendrils explains. I think that's, like, the, one of the alleged names, but I think that the Nice Fit story is incorrect, but I don't know. Legacy names are dumb, in a nutshell. Difference between Ant and Tess, yeah, the Epic Storm and Ad Nauseam Tendrils, where Tess is the better Ad Nauseam deck, but Ant is called Ad Nauseam Tendrils, like some really dumb shit. So I'm gonna wait till I see the upkeep card before I sack this Remorseful Cleric, but I'm not gonna wait till till his main phase, because if we do, then he could just play a Grove and punish me. The Epic Storm is Tess. Beatdowns. Oh yeah, what is it in the Perfect Storm? TPS, right? Yeah, better than the old days where all the combo decks are named after like breakfast foods. Fucking people like dunk on, yeah, it's the Epic Storm. People love to dunk on like Star City and people for trying to normalize deck names more, but when you give players free reign to name things, like they come up with some really stupid names for decks. Oh, if we're talking about like an extended Storm deck, then yeah. I don't know anything about extended Alpha. I like cool names. I like cool names, except when they're just really stupid. And just make absolutely no sense. Goodbye, Thalia. just wants to use guild names. I mean, that's also true. They're pushing guild names because it's more friendly to like people that are like looking at standard cards. That's why they like the difference between Gruul aggro and like a Tarka red. They're just identical. Like they're both red-green aggro decks, but just like it's based on what like standard cards are going around at the time. But just like they did finally start putting 4-color Loam instead of punishing Abzan, which is nice. Is this just Chalice on one? That makes sense. We're gonna take this file up to 2 and then draw Mother of Runes. Yeah, Dragon Stompy stopped playing Rakdos Pit Dragon in like a million years ago. Oh, that's also a bad draw. Shardless Sultai. Teamer Delver. Alright, nobody's perfect. Should be Golgari Depths. Like, I think that's like a gold MTG Goldfish typo that's called out Golgari Wastes, which just like doesn't make any sense. I think SCG calls it Golgari Depths, which is fair. Anyway, in this game, not looking great. Opponent has a billion cards in hand. We are hellbent, essentially. Looking for Palace Jailer wouldn't even be very good. He's got 2 creatures. Recruiter would be excellent. People post about Parfait, and I still have no idea what that is. I think it's the land tax scroll rack deck, right? I think that's what Parfait is. And God knows why it's called Parfait. 3 life, huh? Time to draw Walking Ballista. No, he's not tapping the Cabal Pit. Dang. I feel like he just wants a green sun for 3, get a knight going, put me into the ground, right? Mono white? Yeah. Oh, like, sure. Yeah, that tracks. Tracks about as well as other legacy deck names. So Recruiter's still excellent here. Can definitely like steal us. Even like a Flicker Wisp might not be bad, depending on what he has as removal right now. Or more land. That's pretty good too, you know. Plan is just hit 8 mana and cast a 4 for Walking Ballista. Win that way. Check pile, yeah. Fucking check pile, Canadian Threshold, Team America, which was like a bug deck or something. Fuck legacy names, man. Canadian that's fair. It is a threshold deck. Threshold does tell you something about the deck. Yeah, why is Team America bug? I don't know. I haven't been playing Magic that long. Honestly. Before Jeskai existed, it was also confusing because people called Blue-White Red Control America Control sometimes. So it was like Team America was a like completely different deck than America Control. Oh, right, there's a Chalice of the Void. And we tried. I need to play this land. F5, F5. I need this land in play. For when we draw more land to cast our... Wait, are we dead? Not quite, right? This thing goes fetch land 5/5. Wasteland himself 7/7. 7, 8, 9, 10. That'd be 1 off lethal. Oh, never got confused, man. Yeah, but it's like extremely prohibitive for people trying to get into the format. Turbo lands. Is that the same as like lands nowadays? Because wasn't that deck called Eternal Garden at some point? This is a Punishing Fire me for lethal? Oh, Exploration Horn of Greed, totally different deck? Sure. I don't fucking know. Punishing Fire me. Do it. You got me. Yeah, it was Canadian Threshold back when I actually played a bunch of Threshold guys. Turbo Lands was an Oath deck. Yeah, like the Legacy Lands was called Eternal Garden. I have no idea what Turbo Lands was. Oh, my brain suddenly started sideboarding for miracles. I think Relic Warder does still suck. It's like only good if you have it exactly on turn 2 after they library on 2. I think it's just better to have 2 Revokers in the deck. I think Relic Warder just kind of blows. Couldn't imagine who, though. I mean, that's the point of, like, testing, right? It's like, maybe this is better, maybe it's not. And, like, I played it a couple times, I drew Relic Order a couple times, and I was like, wow, this card is, like, pretty medium, and Revoker would probably be better at a lot of different points. It's, like, probably a keep, but I'm not super happy about it. I mean, any hand with a Recruiter and lands is, like, pretty solid, because you just work up towards Jailer. With, like, Rip, which is not bad. Oh, I'm only into 5. If we're testing Where's the Karn. We're testing a good deck, Chyleth. We only test good cards on this stream. Nah, Karn's okay. It's just not Cataclysm. I wonder if I'm running out Rip on turn 2. Oh, well, that's a good way to undo your mulligan. I was hoping for a Bob. I think Rip's probably better than porting here. I think just like Rip constraining their tools here, even if they find like an Abrupt Decay for it, they're not Abrupt Decaying my other stuff down the line. I think I just want to get this out for curve purposes. Try to work my way into Recruiter into Jailer or something. This little library should be 1 and a white. Well, it definitely shouldn't be. Actually no. Green is like the 3rd best color at drawing cards, right? I guess the only good example is actually like Harmonize and Elvish Visionary, though. White's not super good at drawing cards, is what I'll say. Let's go get a Palace Jailer. I almost just want to get a Phyrexian Revoker. Library should be 1 for you change your mind. Oh, we could change the flavor of the card. Like, I think he's talking about the effect specifically, Alpha. Like, we change it to Scholarly. And Scholarly Library, probably like a blue card. I don't know. Something about a church. Yeah, more just jailering. We have, like, multiple removal spells here. Go, Jailer. Library. Goodbye, jailer. Eh, well, we have recipes in play, so that deals with the punishing fire. I don't think white's good enough at drawing cards. Like, white just doesn't have a lot of card draw in it ever. White deserves something. It's different than like white color pie wise should have an effect like Sylvan Library. I think green is tertiary in card draw after blue and black. Just gonna beat him down with a big old walking ballista. He's at 8, trying to find land drops off the Sylvan Library. Just gonna go for the old ballista fireball. Yeah, it'd have to be like a church or something. We should pray for cards. Land of the Last Hope, huh? It's beatable. A little tricky right now, but... we can't even really pour it. I could wait. I think I'm just going to wait till this by you, honestly. Rather than just, like, cast my sort of Fire and Ice here. Yeah, white cries in the corner while everyone else draws cards. Red now also gets card draw that they can only cast until, like, for a limited time. Ooh, Prelate. Dig it. If he draws one more card off the Sylvan Library, we can just fireball him with his Ballista in 2 turns. There we go. Fetch, 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 fetch. Alright, that should be game. Unless this is a Johnny Lightning Helix or... no, that's still game. We just Power Stone Forge response. This doesn't look like an Ajani. This also just looks like it's game over. He kind of had to dig very aggressive with the Sylvan. He was on a mull to 5. Get him. Pew pew. So that game we did win, but it was also because he mulled to 5. So that was the first game we managed to win without casting a Palace Jailer. Oh no, we still cast a Palace Jailer that game. I totally forgot because it like died immediately, but I've just had this Monarch in play for the whole time. So we've yet to win a game without casting Palace Jailer. Although I think we might have been able to still win that one without playing Palace Jailer. Was I on the draw for game 1? Does anyone remember? Game 1, match 4? Was I on the play or the draw? Because I super don't remember. I want to say I was on the draw, but just that's for, like, consistency in my brain. Because we had 2 games on the play and we'd have 2 games on the draw. Probably shouldn't have taken 4th there, but I'm tired. White gets Healing Self, blue gets Ancestral. Ugh, double Crocus Hands. This hand's still pretty good, though. Prelate is, like, actively a lot weaker in the post-board games, but I think this hand is still okay. I don't like the fact that this hand actually doesn't have any removal. Look, it could be a slow starter for him as well. If he doesn't just go, like, land Mox 3-drop. Don't do it. Because even like Dark Confidant is just bad for me, because we don't have removal. Stop casting Sylvan Library. How many fucking Sylvan Libraries is he playing? Too many. Man, I wish I had a Leona Relic Order. There's also no way to tell if this was the one of the two Revokers. It's probably just an easy take 8, yeah. Alright. Time to go get a Jailer. The only way to keep up with fucking Sylvan Library drawing a million cards is Palace Jailer draw a million cards. Like every single game we've played today. Just like P-Fire down my Recruiter. Something like that. Man, I wish I had a Surgical right here. Would be nice. It's brought on to your goal eventually. Not so much in the post-board games. They typically have a lot more answers post-board. They'll have some number of Swords to Plowshares in addition to like some of their Planeswalkers. Like a Johnny, Liliana's. It definitely helps, but game 1 it's a lot more important than game 2 and 3. It's certainly a good card, though, still. They do have limited resources to actually deal with it. I mean, this has to be bait, right? Or maybe there's just like a second night in my future. Oh, nope, he's just dumb. All right, yeah. I think it's time to call the stream here real soon. This is definitely gonna be our last game. Seems like Loamer's getting tired. I'm getting tired. Yeah, no fetch. If he had like a fetch land instead of a Bayou here, then it's definitely a lot riskier, and I probably just wouldn't have done it. Yeah, game 1, the only ways they have to kill Prelate are Cabal Pit or Liliana the Veil. And both of those are decently easy to play around. Optimal clicking of Jailer. I've cast enough Jailers on Moto that I know which trigger to click, so you don't have to click both of them. This is Lily. Goodbye, Jailer. Robert, huh? Probably just have to recruit a Ballista, then? I wish I could Ballista for 2 here. Or like 1 mana off. I can't kill the Lily and the Bob. Alright. Still in an okay spot here. Concerned about, like, more threats, because we're definitely running low on answers. 3 cards is too many cards to leave a creature in play. Yeah. If they just have like 1 removal spell, we get absolutely bodied. We are getting massive amounts of value. Just, yeah. Jailer just does so much freaking work in this matchup. It is obscene. It's so much harder for them to take it back than, like, say, Grixis or Miracles. Discard Abrupt Decay. What is going on here? What are the last 2 cards in your hand? I feel like if you're plussing and discarding a Decay against a guy with a Monarchy, I feel like you just, like, shouldn't plus, right? Unless he really wants access to the Edict again. Killing the Vial? Sure. Oh, and then come up with it. Okay, that tracks. So we're just going to Prowd on 2+ Revoker here. Could like maybe played out my Wasteland to play around that. Then if he replicates the Vial in response, I can Wasteland the Cabal Pit before he gets to Threshold. Because I was considering like lines where I was Wastelanding that Cabal Pit there. Yeah, porting's probably less good because they could untap with it. I probably should have just like played Wasteland pre-combat. Because if I port it, I need to like kill it anyway, else they untap and they can just use it again anyway. Alright, looks like Loamerboy's calling it. Definitely, like, at the point where you're like making like pretty badly game-losing mistakes, like just running your knight into a unknown Palace Jailer and such. It's probably worth just turning it in, not getting as much useful information anymore. But yeah. So, what we've learned today about the 4-color Loam matchup is just like, fucking Palace Jailer is absolutely batshit crazy in this matchup. Palace Jailer is bananas. Just, if you want to beat this deck, definitely play second Palace Jailer. Palace Jailer is exceptionally strong. It's not optimal, but maybe it was worth considering once you don't play your Wasteland. Oh, like, in the moment. I don't even know how much I cared about saving that Recruiter, though. If they're burning it, if they're burning the thing there, like, we can just redeploy with, yeah. Well, I don't know. That's the thing. Second Palace Jailer is really good, especially in this matchup specifically, but I like Jailer less and less as you go towards, like, the blue decks, the Snapcaster Mage decks, that can... It's a lot scarier and harder to protect the Monarchy. Against 4-color Loam, all you have to watch out for is their green fetches, and just, like, everything else is just a bunch of sorcery speed creatures. And they're very creature light to begin with. They're just on, like, Dark Confidants and Night of the Reliquaries. It's just a lot easier to keep Monarchy and just bury them with it. Whereas Grixis has, like, Strixes and Snapcasters, things that are harder to block or have flash, that they try to take it from you, and Miracles has Snapcaster Mage, and are just really good at wrathing your board and such. Yeah. And like I talked about before, I think around the time I played against Patrick, it was just like, the second jailer is good at protecting the monarchy because it gives you a chance of taking it back if you lose it. Like we saw in the match that we lost. The match that we lost against Loam here, it was in the game 2 where my opponent just like took monarchy from me and we couldn't get it back. I think we had a recruiter at some point. Yeah, I think we recruited a like the Hallowed Spirit Keeper that game, and if you could recruit a second jailer in that instance and take the monarchy back and maybe kill a creature again. Yeah, second jailer looks amazing if you're going to play against a bunch of 4-color Loam, but especially if you're in paper, you're just not going to be playing against a bunch of 4-color Loam ever. The deck's pretty expensive, and it has a very niche community. But yeah, if you do want to tech for this matchup, Palace Jailer is 100% the card you should be playing. That card is absurd in this matchup. We won every... We didn't win every game we played it, but every game that we won, we involved playing Palace Jailer. What's up, Loamerboy? Yeah, I am also tired. I'm gonna turn it in here. I'm just talking about how great Palace Jailer was. Palace Jailer is a really fucked up card against 4-color Loam. That card is legitimately messed up. Yeah, no point in testing if, like, we're just, like, tired of making a bunch of, like, bad play mistakes at that point. Good to call it. We got it in, I think we played optimal. I don't know. That game definitely, like, goes somewhere. It's hard to say how that third match ends up, or that third game ends up. But, like, obviously, if I go back and watch from your side, you can maybe piece a little bit together, but there's definitely some play in that last. There's definitely some play in that last game. Call it 2-1-1. You did have a ton of removal. Yeah, definitely. Obviously, don't play the knight there into like the known Palace Jailer and such. But yeah, it feels like Palace Jailer is like actually like props up this matchup a lot. It's just like the card that you lean into super hard to fight 4-color Loam. Just like always the tutor target. I would just not be hitting my 4th land drop and just be like, yeah, let's just tutor Palace Jailer anyway. We'll play it eventually. Jailer is just bananas. Yeah. I think if you're playing Marchesa, it gets a little bit better, and you just, like, never cast Marchesa until they play Palace Jailer. So you play Marchesa, take Monarchy, and then, or you probably, like, kill their stuff on their end step after they play Palace Jailer, and then you untap, play Marchesa, and, like, hope that you keep it. And then if they're on, like, 2 Jailers, then it just, like, gets even worse yet again. Yeah, Kaya seems sweet. Kaya seems not great versus Death and Taxes specifically, but obviously, like how Death and Taxes shouldn't necessarily tech for 4-color Loam. 4-color Loam shouldn't necessarily tech for Death and Taxes. It's just like, sometimes you make sideboard decisions that are, like slightly, like, make this matchup slightly worse for you or something. Like, playing Cinder Vines obviously isn't, like, a really good Magic card in a lot of matchups, but just, like, is probably just worse than, like, an Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy against something like Death and Taxes. Yeah. I do think Marchesa is probably fine if you wanted to tech more for Death and Taxes as Loam. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't sweat it. But like I was talking about, if Death and Taxes wants to beat up Loam, just play more Jailers. If Loam wants to beat up Death and Taxes, I think playing Marchesa is a good place to start. Also, like, just like, I don't know, more... I don't know. I can't say more removal. The deck's like just all removal already. But yeah, Marchesa is a good place to start because I think Monarchy is one of like the biggest ways to win that matchup. Yeah, Library is also been... Yeah, Library was nuts. Every game you turn to Library, I was just like, oh, that's not a Dark Confidant. I can kill a Dark Confidant. Hallowed Spirit Keeper. Yeah, Hallowed Spirit Keeper did nothing today. It made 1 Spirit. It made 1 Spirit in that third match, I think. The game I had you with Arbor. Oh yeah, that game I was just like waiting for this fetch like for me to draw a wasteland or something to deal with that stupid fetch land. I'm just like, all right, I gotta keep casting other cards. Eventually, I'll have to like do something, and I'll find a window for this Palace Jailer. The Spirit Keeper was good. As long as you didn't have a punching fire, the Spirit Keeper was gonna be like pretty good at just like providing multiple bodies to pressure you. Trying to worm my way into Jailer into Cataclysm the whole game. It's competing with Mirror Crusader. Yeah. I think if I were just like running a normal list online, I'd be either playing a Mirror Crusader here or I'd be playing a second Jailer here to try it out. I haven't tested second Jailer, so it would just definitely be experimental. But I'm testing for a paper tournament coming up this weekend, and people just love to play Grixis Control, so Spirit Keeper's my hedge a little bit there. But anyway, I think that's enough chatting about the 4-color Loam matchup. Hope everybody took away something from tonight. And even if that something is just Palace Jailer are real good against Loam. Good thing to take away. Discount last. Yeah, it was all good. I enjoyed it as well. It's always nice to get to test there. I played Burmaz. I've registered Burmaz before, but it was a long time ago. Burmaz has really fallen off the realm of playability nowadays. Anyway, let's host someone. Let's host AKA Yanni. He hosts me. He, she. I don't know who this is actually. I've never actually watched them.
I guess the second.
Yeah, this guy. Oops, I'm not muted. Looks like playing. I don't know what the hell this deck is. That Uba Mask? That's not Uba Mask. That's a weird art Mindslaver. Alright, anyway, let's go host AKA Yanni here. Honestly, like Spirit Keeper, maybe a little more. Yeah, like Spirit Keeper does do like a bad Crusader impression in like a lot of the matchups where you want Crusader, like just exploding into a bunch of spirits against like against Death Shadow and stuff has definitely won me games where Crusader would probably also win me the game, but also gets there. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching today. Shout out to Loamerboy. Go follow him if you have not currently. Twitch.tv/Loamerboy. And also, if you want to support the channel some more, you can follow, subscribe, or donate here at twitch.tv/xjcloud. Follows are totally free, help you know I'm going live. Subscriptions get you a sweet Thalia emote like Lou Nill's showing off there. Or one of them's mine, the other one's Phil's. And donations, I do donation deck lists. If you're at all interested in watching me play a specific deck, let me know. Rules for that are down below. Also, linked down below are YouTube and Twitter. YouTube is where all these streams go after they're live, so if you want to go look back on some 4-color Loam matches, or I did Miracles last week, or just my general 8 billion leagues I churn out on the YouTube channel, that's all there. Anyhow, catch you guys all tomorrow. We'll be back just like a normal D&T league, probably. See you later.